Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Lee Cantor here with Stone Payton, another episode of GSU ENI Radio and Stone. This is the headliners of the day.
Hey, this is the best way to bring it all home, man. We got a couple of great guests. First up in this episode, we have with us founder of Artehub. Please join me in welcoming to the show, Mr. London Balbosa. Good afternoon, sir.
Thanks for having me.
You got to get rock star close, London, to that microphone.
Thank you.
Well, London, tell us about Artehub. How are you serving folks?
So, Artehub is an e-commerce fine art discovery marketplace for aspiring art collectors.
And then are these artists only here in Atlanta or are they anywhere?
So we are currently working with a group of fine artists here in Atlanta for our pilot and private beta.
And then so how's it work? The artists come on to the website, they can show their stuff, and then buyers can peruse that and then buy directly from them?
Exactly. So essentially we operate as a third-party platform for the artists.
So right now, the artists typically just have their own website and you can buy from them just individually, and you're putting like a bunch of them in one big pile?
So we are using a different model. Instead of commissioning with the artists, we are partnering with the artists and giving them percentage of the sales that are generated through our platform.
So how is that different than commission?
So essentially, the idea behind our platform is that we are garnering social media and emerging technologies and e-commerce technologies as an SEO to push the artists and their work out into the market.
And then you do a revenue share based on whatever it sells for?
Exactly.
And then are the prices set? Like if it says $1,000, that's really what it is, or is this a negotiation?
So we are considering we're a seed stage company. In our platform, we're considering building out features that will allow for our collectors to be able to place a bid on a piece of work if they're not willing to pay the price that is set, that the artist sets on the platform. So
now, how did you get into this line of work? Are you an artist?
So my stepdad is a fine artist. He was a famous fine artist in the 90s. He did a lot of work for a lot of hip hop artists. He did cover work for them. Mm-hmm. He was a graffiti artist in New York for a few years. And after the 90s and into the early 2000s, his career kind of plummeted, and it didn't take off as much as he'd like to. And into the recession, it had reached its lowest point in his career. And growing up, I had asked if he thought that technology or e-commerce would impact his career as an artist, and he said no. And I was 18 at the time, and I was like, I'm going to prove him wrong.
You knew better than that.
Exactly. I'm going to prove him wrong. And today there are like 60 other emerging technology art startups out there that are proving him wrong and a lot of others wrong.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a huge opportunity for artists, and they should be doing all they can do to get the word out about their work, leveraging the technology that's out there.
Exactly.
So now, do you have his art on your platform?
So we will.
Or you're negotiating with him?
I had to negotiate with him because he's still skeptical. And
he's never given you a piece of art?
He hasn't, but his pieces are around the house.
So grab one.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Then send him a check.
That's what I'm going to do. That's the strategy.
That's what I would do. So now, talk about the Main Street Entrepreneur Seed Fund. How did you get involved in that program?
So essentially, I had the idea, for the past 6 years. I'm 24 now, and the idea has just been in my subconscious mind since I was 18. And earlier this year, as I was approaching graduation, I was like, I need to move forward with this idea because it's still here. I need to move. I need to do something about it. And so I had graduated, interned for a few other startups. Been involved in Atlanta's entrepreneurial ecosystem since I've been in college. And graduating from college, I was like, I think I need to go ahead and pursue entrepreneurship. And so I need to start with this idea. And I think considering the amount of research and just domain knowledge that I have about the fine art space. I was like, this is what I'm most comfortable with right now. And I have a few artists in my network, and I have a few pieces of my own. And so I was like, I think from my perspective, it was just like, how can I make this space more accessible and more open to everyone, and enable the artist to go direct to consumer.
So now, are the artists you have, you're calling them fine artists? How are you defining that?
So when I say fine art, I essentially mean art that has proven traction and that is considered, marketable.
So not the person that's just starting out.
I mean, we are working with emerging artists as well, but we're trying to shift the consciousness of how people perceive art. Any piece of art that an artist has invested a lot of money into making should be validated and worth what they're willing to.
But art, you can't sell art by the cost of materials.
That's actually something that we are trying to figure out, because that's how artists determine the pricing for their work.
That's wrong. I'm telling you.
Are you an art collector?
I am.
Awesome.
So I would not be doing it by materials.
So this is news for us from your perspective that we will consider.
Okay, consider that, please.
Yeah.
Now, for you, do you see this just strictly as a business venture, or are you really trying to help the artists monetize their work and get paid fairly for what they are doing?
Both, but because I grew up in a home where art was prevalent, and I had no choice but to see it and to understand it. I think for me, it's the empathy that I have for my stepdad that is driving me to want to enable the artist to be able to monetize on their work.
So now, when you had this idea, it's been in your mind for several years, and then you decide, you know what, I'm going to move forward on this. Is your background in technology? Like, did you build the website, or did you have to partner with people that were good at that part of this?
So I did study emerging technology. I also took a media analytics course in my last year of college, and I'm on the surface of technology as a product from a product management perspective, but my co-founder is the CTO. He's a technologist.
And then what's your degree in? Like, what's your day job?
So I studied interdisciplinary studies. I created my major, and my concentration was media innovation and entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. And so right now I've kind of taken the time off to build Artehub.
So now that you're focused in on growing this. And then what do you need more of right now?
We definitely could use more support in terms of human capital and, of course, funding. And another program after this to kind of accelerate our growth.
Now, when you need more bodies, it sounds like in what areas are you going to kind of deploy these people?
Marketing
to who? To the customer or to the artist?
Both. I'm responsible for, as a business developer, for reaching out to the artist, the collector, and working with local galleries and really building the momentum for the team, and acquiring all the needs for the business. But as we grow, social is definitely going to be a main contributor to our growth. And we'd like for someone with that expertise to kind of help us scale that piece of the business.
So now, if an artist has kind of made it to a certain level, aren't they already affiliated with galleries, and they already have relationships with people that are helping theoretically to help them get the word out? You
would think, but a lot of the artists that we're working with have never had any gallery exposure.
So then how are they selling their stuff now?
Direct to consumer.
So they're selling it direct, by going to festivals, and
art fairs, and local, and doing commission work, but they're only able to sustain it to a certain point. Like, they would like for someone else to help them grow. And
this would be another kind of channel for them to...
Another channel, without them having to do it themselves. And create, yes.
So it sounds like a great opportunity. Now, have you gotten artists to sign up?
Yes.
You have some artists already on board?
We have some artists. We have about, we've reached out to over 100, and we are very selective in who we wanted to work with, in our seed. And so, we have, signed on and are currently onboarding about 10 to 15, to, onboard their work onto the platform as we get closer to launch. And
then, what is the medium that they're in? Are they painters? Are they graphic design? Are they sculptors? It's
painters. So all of them are painters. We are trying to start with one category, but we'd like to grow into all other categories as photography, sculptures, and an array of other fine art categories. But we are
started with painting. And then the painting, is it any type of painting?
Any types, abstract, oil, you name it.
And then but the style could be anything.
The style could be anything.
But it's being through paint.
We have one artist in particular. She's a famous artist. Her name is Charmaine Manyfield. And she does murals. Her murals are well known all over Atlanta. And she just finished a contract work with the U.S. Census. Her work is going to be featured on their site. And she is launching that through her own channels next year, and she wants to use our platform.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Yes. So
now how are you networking with these artists? How are you finding them and making them aware of your service?
Essentially, I'm doing a lot of different things that I like to.
That's secret.
That's secret to our business model that I don't want to expose.
Okay. Yeah. And then, so now you got some money from the Main Street Entrepreneurship Seed Fund, and now you're investing that back into the business in terms of building out the website and doing this networking and marketing that you're doing to grow the artist pool. Are you doing any work to get collectors on board?
Yes. So that's the next stage of our business model that we are going to, we're working on, but we feel that it's important to build a supply before we are able to go to collectors to say, hey, this is what we have to offer. What do you think? What do you want more of? What do you want? What is lacking from the channels or the galleries you're collecting from? Or we're approaching it from an unbiased perspective so that we're able to really use those insights to grow.
So now, what's kind of the timeline of when this launches?
So we are essentially working on our proof of concept as of right now, and we're hoping to have that fully developed for our pilot by the end of the month, and then going into 2020 in January, we are our plan and our timeline is to have and connect our pilot with local art collectors and our network, and then develop our MVP for Demo Day, February 27th.
And Demo Day is part of the seed fund?
Yes.
And that's when you'll all get to demo your where you're at with your business.
Yes.
And then at that point, you're looking for more funding?
Yes. We are definitely looking for more funding to join. So my co-founder is able to join full time, and we can bring on a few others and also invest more into our product, because that's the heart of the business. And the user experience piece and the community piece and aspect of it is essential for us to grow.
Now, do you have a website yet, or at least a landing page that people can sign up on?
Yes. So our landing page is live. It's been live for about 3 months now.
And what's that?
And it's www.artehub, artehub.co.
artehub.co.
Yes.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck, London.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for sharing your story.
No problem.
All right, Lee, bringing it home for us this afternoon in our final episode, we have with us the founder of Nurtur Skincare, Adesuwa Imafidon.
Yes.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, you're with Nurtur Skincare. Tell us about that. How are you serving folks?
So Nurtur Skincare is a unisex natural skincare company. that focuses on the person themselves, such as their health, self-care, and self-love, as well as their skin. So we want to provide people with healthy skin and a healthy heart and mind.
And how'd you get into this? What was the inspiration?
I struggled with my skin for years. I have had acne for a long time. I've used so many products like Proactive, Clean and Clear, Clearasil, so many things. Even prescription medication, but nothing quite cleared my skin and left it healthy. It was either really, really dry or really oily. I had acne still, or I had dark spots. Nothing really worked. So, and I noticed how that took an effect on my self-esteem and my self-love and my self-care. So I wanted to create something that really helped people.
But to do that, did you need to be a chemist? Like, how do you even begin to try to fix that?
You just try different things.
And on yourself?
Research. Yeah, of course. I tried it on myself. I gave my friends some things to sample. I actually started working in a dermatology office. I am a certified MA to work with dermatologists. Yeah, I tried things, DIY stuff on myself, then had friends try it. Nothing happened to them. Had other people try it, and went from there.
And then how did you know you were kind of onto something, that you were onto the right track of, this is going to work? Or
So I did a lot of research about different ingredients. I put them together. And like I said, I had other people try it, and they were like, wow, this stuff is really good. Or wow, I saw my skin get better. Or, wow, my skin's glowing. It feels healthy. It feels moisturized. So yeah, just customer, I guess, feedback.
And then, so once you had something that you figured out that, okay, this is going to work, then how did you come up with kind of the Nurtur Skincare brand and look and feel of the packaging and things like that?
Yeah. So like I shared previously, I realized how it affected my self-esteem, and asked other people how their skin affected their self-esteem and also their self-care, and kind of just went from there and carried it on. And then Nurture, I'm like, well, if you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your skin, you're nurturing it, you're building it up, you're giving it life. So.
And then, how'd you become aware of the Main Street Seed Fund?
So I'm really active in Georgia State's entrepreneurship, just department, I guess you can say. And I received an email from them about it, and I applied, and it went from there.
Had you ever done anything entrepreneurial before?
I guess yes. Like in elementary school, we all sold cookies, sold lemonade, sold bracelets, and I just kept going from there. I started babysitting and started my own little babysitting thing, started my own tutoring thing, but never really tried to solve a problem. I was just doing something to make money.
So now this is more personal?
Yes, of course. Yes.
And then do you see this as now this is what your career is going to be for a little bit, or do you see this as a side hustle while you get a real job?
No, my career is for a little bit. I have many ideas.
And then, how do you see it expanding beyond skincare or in other areas of skincare?
I see it growing. Well, right now I just have an exfoliator and oil serum and a beard oil, but I see it expanding with cleansers and moisturizers and stuff like that. And then I want to create my own nonprofit organization for anti-human trafficking, and then also a modesty clothing line and just other things.
And then so that'll all be kind of underneath this umbrella of Nurture?
Yeah, I guess you can say so, yeah.
And then what's the biggest challenge so far in kind of developing this?
Time, because I work full time. So
you have a day job?
Yes.
That's not this?
No, it has nothing to do with this.
But that's kind of helping fund this?
Yes, sir, as well as the seed fund.
And then are you selling it direct, or are you selling it online? How does someone even buy this?
So right now they could just go online to nurturskincare.com. But then other people that I see or know, I can give it to them directly.
Are you trying to get it into other stores?
Yes, but not right now.
Not right now. Mm-hmm. And then in order to do this, do you need government blessing? This is approved by the FDA, or do you not have to do that?
So technically, the FDA doesn't really regulate what's organic or not. They're just saying, okay, make sure that this is natural. Whatever you're saying, it's true.
Right.
I do have to be registered as a business and everything, but not necessarily, no.
Okay, so then so was it difficult to kind of understand how you put it in bottles and sell it and put labels? How'd you learn how to do that?
Just research research, YouTube videos, reading, a lot of like hard work of just like researching.
But how do you get the stuff into the tube? Like you work with a company that does that on your behalf?
I just make it on my own. I put on my hairnet, wear my gloves, sanitize everything. Then I have like a funnel that I use and put the funnel, well, I sanitize the bottle as well, but put the funnel on the bottle and just put the measurements into the bottle.
And then you have your own recipe that's your own secret recipe, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you said it's unisex, so is it people of all ages? Like, who's your ideal customer?
So it's men and women, but specifically people between 18 years old and 23 years old.
So it's for young people?
Yes, young people.
And then why is that?
Because during your developmental years, you struggle with your self-esteem a lot. And I feel like, unfortunately, like suicide, depression, and all these things are really high within that age range. And some of that has to do with bullying. And some people may be bullied for their skin, you know? And if that's the case, like I want to give that person the self-esteem and the confidence during that time.
Now, do you remember the time you sold your first product where it stopped being like, oh, hey, try this, and you're saying, I'm going to put it up for sale?
Yes.
So
What was it like?
How did that go?
Oh, it was great. I felt great. I was like, oh, awesome. First person, you know?
Because that's trust. They're trusting and believing you.
But it was also a friend that bought it. So I don't know.
What about the first stranger?
It hasn't been a first stranger yet. Hopefully someone listening can be the first stranger.
And then if they did want to go, they can go to your website, nurturskincare.com, and that's nurture without the E, right? Nurtur skincare.com.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And they can get it there. Now, for you, being part of this program, how has that kind of affected your life? Did you, when you were younger, did you always think I'm going to be an entrepreneur?
No, I didn't.
At what point did you go, you know what, this could be a path for me?
It was my sophomore year when I decided to switch from nursing to business.
So at some point you saw yourself differently?
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to do business, but I didn't know what. And then that sophomore year when I transitioned, I was like, no, I want to own my own business and I really want to go after it.
And then what gave you the confidence to say, okay, I can do this and I'm going to make this happen?
Like this specific business or in general?
This specific business.
My passion behind it, really. That year, I was like, okay, I want to do this. But I saw how it affects other people and I saw how it affects their self-esteem and stuff. And I saw it affected mine and I really care about people. So I was like, I really want to help and I really want to make a difference. I don't want to be another skincare company just selling products and telling people your skin's going to be clear. I really want to help people. So,
and then because you felt that there's some skincare companies that are maybe misrepresenting or they're not, they just care about the money. They don't really care about helping people.
Yeah. I believe so. I mean, look at the commercials. Look at their websites. It's just people with a bunch of clear skin, like, oh, look at me, blah, blah, blah.
Like it's magic.
Yeah. It's like, no, a person is deeper than just their skin. It affects their self-esteem. It affects how they care for themselves. And people have told me themselves that they're scared of getting another pimple because of the way that it makes them feel. And I don't want people being terrified of a pimple. You know, like your physical appearance does not affect your, like, you know, like you are worth so much more than your physical appearance. And that's what I want to communicate to my customers, that they are valuable, whether their skin's clear, whether it's not, whether they're short, whether they're tall, they have value. So, yeah.
So now how are you going to kind of help them in terms of giving them the self-confidence to believe that to be so? And create that community that helps them believe that to be so.
So currently right now, with every product that a person purchases, they receive like a nurture card, and it's like 3 ways to practice like self-love and self-care. But I'm working on a pamphlet that goes deeper into that and deeper into what we do. And then on my social media website or on my Instagram, I post content that helps people with that. And I'm trying to get more into that. So giving them like quotes or just things that they can use to help them.
Right. So inspiration to help them feel better about themselves. Good stuff. Well, best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And then one more time, the website.
Nurtur Skincare, nurture without the E.com.
All right. Well, thanks both of you for being part of the show today. And it's always fun here at GSU. We learn some new things every time. And this is Lee Cantor for Stone Payton. We will see you all next time on GSU ENI Radio.